So what's the reptilian agenda? And I have to tell you, this is not a real reptilian. This is a thing from Jurassic Park. But some people who have seen these aliens, and I would agree, say they look just like velociraptors in the movie Jurassic Park. And they act about the same way. So these once divine beings now resemble their new father, the devil. And they seek to mingle the DNA of fallen angels with humanity.
Time is short.
We must act quickly. Here are the identity seeds. We must plant them at the school. Then everyone will be changed.
Changed into creeps.
And as a result of this, Satan hopes to corrupt humanity even as he did before the flood. And this is very important to understand, because if they can corrupt us to the point that we, not we in this room, but we as a race, are so full of fallen DNA, angel DNA, that we can no longer accept Christ. We can no longer make a decision for Christ because our wills have been so corrupted by this sort of thing. You're talking about a very dangerous situation here for humanity. They want to mingle fallen angel DNA with our DNA. And they do this by seducing women, because, again, they can assume very attractive human form.
Okay, what are the physical characteristics of the Alpha Draconians? What do they look like?
I don't have that. Maybe it's in the car. They're ugly. I mean, they think we're ugly, too. You know, and I guess it's all a matter of perspective and belief system. In my belief system, and I'm only taking responsibility for me, they're ugly. They're anywhere from 7 to 22 feet tall. They can weigh up to 1,800 pounds. They're reptilian. The longer, the ones that have stubby tails, if you see one that has no tail, he's of the warrior class, or the worker class. The longer the tail, the higher their rank. When you see one with long tails, with winged appendages, he's considered royalty. Whenever you see one, you ought to just run like hell. You shouldn't approach it. You shouldn't provoke it. Just get the hell out of its way. Just get out of its way. Just run. You know, there is a way to kill them. If you can't cut off their head, they have two hearts. There's one here, underneath this armpit, and one here. Or, if you can't get to that area and you need to slow it down, you need to hit it right above its groin area. It has a very large liver. You need to wound it there to slow it down. It is not something where man-to-man combat you're going to be able to deal with, because they apparently have the strength of 12, 15 men. They're incredibly quick. They're incredibly psychic. They know what you're going to do before you do it. And you know, if they get here en masse, we got real problems. Real problems.
Have they told you anything about Area 51 or Dulce, New Mexico?
Yeah, there were a lot of stuff there. The actual underground base is not underneath Arcoleta Mesa. It's actually 20 miles to the northwest. That's just an entrance point in and out.
This is Area 51?
This is in New Mexico, Dulce.
Okay.
It's not exactly right there. As far as Area 51, yes, there's a lot of stuff that was going on there, but a lot of that has been moved, and it's now in New Mexico, in the Sandia, underneath the Sandia Laboratory.
Diego Garcia Island.
Diego Garcia Island, there's a base there. Pine Gap. Diego Garcia Island, there's anti-gravity anomalies there, and this is how they were able to blow a lot of equipment into space without using rockets, and then they would have the UFO-type craft, which we built from technology we were given. They would hook a tow chain to it, and like a tow barge, just tow it to the moon.
Okay, and you mentioned...
And it runs, and the equipment that's there is run on free energy, stuff that was built that was created in the 1920s, that we've been absolutely not privy to. We haven't had to pump 1 gallon of oil out of the ground since the late 1920s. They've had free energy, but because of money, they've been controlled. They've allowed us to pollute the environment. to devastate the oceans because of petroleum products when we don't need it for money.
So we've learned that the ancient reptilians are evil and they hate us. And that's why we, since the 1950s and, you know, back in the ancient times, we've had underground wars with them, you know, because, you know, they don't like us. And it doesn't seem like they're going to change at all. And, you know, they want to annihilate us as a species, you know, because I don't know why. I mean, they just hate us. And if they look like this, then, man, I don't think we should stop doing what we did back in the 50s and, you know, just keep bombarding them. And, I mean, because, like, they want to kill us. They want to be food. I mean, we're going to be food. And supposedly, I heard that they were casted out into living in the sea, too. So, in that case, if they went to go live in the sea, then, you know, this is what we got to do to them in the sea. You know, total devastation and annihilation. Goodbye, reptilians. Annihilation. And if we don't do that to them, they're going to do that to us. And as a humankind and as a species, we all need to gather together and be as one, because only as when we do that, when we gather in numbers, we will triumph, because we will be very strong in those numbers. And, you know, it doesn't matter if they come in numbers too, because we will be strong in numbers as well. And, you know, that's what they don't want. And, you know, we just have to stay together, people. This is Warrior of the Planet, and thank you for tuning in. Stay strong and tune in for some new videos.